Do we have time to wait for this car to go by?
Sure.
Brian's like a superhero. He's like, there's a car 4 blocks away.
You imagine some sort of Professor X style, hand to the head.
Yeah. A child, she cries. Like,
wait, turn around. We have fun.
We have fun. Hello, I'm Alison Roman, and welcome to Home Movies. Today we are going to be making a pasta salad, which 2 words when put together might feel boring, but to me are actually really exciting. I feel like we have an opportunity to redefine the pasta salad, and that's what we're gonna do. This to me is like the true salad of summer. It will take you from barbecue to potluck to birthday party to picnic to fire escape to stoop. This salad is limitless.
Bradley Cooper.
Like the film starring Bradley Cooper, thank you. I saw Bradley Cooper once in person. Oh, so hot.
Really hot.
So hot.
His eyes?
Crazy hot. I think that like the most important part of this pasta salad is actually cooked vegetables. And the reason I'm using zucchini, hello, it's me, is because there's so much of it in summer. I feel like it is the perfect thing to pair with your pasta, but also the texture is really different. Once we cook it down, it's gonna become really silky, tender, and it's gonna just add a lot of bulk and make it feel more like a vegetable salad than a pasta salad. Like a salad with pasta rather than a bowl of pasta turned into a salad. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
This is sort of a flexible sort of recipe in that if you don't have scallion, you could use a leek or some shallots or spring onions. And if you didn't have zucchini, you could use fennel or another type of summer squash. Don't want parmesan, use feta or pecorino. And if you didn't have capers or didn't like them, you could use something like an olive or anchovy. I don't know. I think the important takeaway is like the ratio of stuff to pasta, which is like a 2 or 3 to 1. So like 2 or 3 vegetable, other stuff to pasta. You'll see, it looks more like a salad than a bowl of pasta, which is exactly what we're after. I'm gonna actually get some water on to boil. So pasta salad.
Do you want to do that while the water?
Yeah, I'm gonna scream over the, you want me to cut? I'll cut, whatever. Pasta salad is not just a salad, and it's not just a pasta, it's a salad made with pasta.
What kind of pan is that?
It's an all-clad pan. I'm gonna use my big 12-inch all-clad skillet, stainless steel. I love this skillet for pasta dishes or when I'm cooking any large amount of vegetables because it is so big that it can fit everything at once. I have been an all-clad fan my entire life, ever since I started cooking. Truly unbeatable. I can't tell you how long I've had this skillet, but it's been a very, very long time, and it works just as beautifully as it did the day I got it. So, highly recommend. I'm salting this pasta water, salty like the sea, broken record. Every time I cook pasta, same song and dance. These are raw walnuts. They're called like halves and pieces or whatever, meaning they're not perfectly pristine, which is great because they're often cheaper when bought that way. I'm actually going to toast them in oil. I find that when you toast a nut just in the skillet on the stovetop, you're toasting the outside, but the inside of the walnut or almond or whatever tends to be still really raw. So by frying them in the oil, I'm toasting them all the way through, and then I'm gonna use that oil to cook my scallions, then to cook the zucchini, and then all that's gonna go into the pasta salad. I'm just breaking these up into tiny pieces. You could chop them if you wanted. I'm not gonna fuss too much. I like using walnuts because it is really easy to kind of just break them up with your hands. Olive oil in the skillet. I'd say we're starting with like a solid 1/4 cup. Gonna add these walnuts to the oil, and we're just gonna let them toast in here. This is gonna happen kind of fast, so you don't really wanna walk away from this. The more scallion, the better. I'm gonna save these for raw, and the reason I'm separating them is because the ones that I'm gonna use for cooked can be cut pretty chunky. They don't have to be super thin, like the ones that I'm gonna use for raw. And you'll cut them like, 1/2 inch thick.
Using the whole scallion?
I'm using that whole scallion. I don't like to waste any part of this. Walnuts got really dark really quickly. You know they're done when they look like they're almost burned, but they're not. Putting this back on, we're looking for them to be golden brown, and then after they come out, we're gonna salt them. And we'll set these aside because these are gonna go on top of the pasta salad. Our scallions go in that oil that we just fried our walnuts in. And I know this looks like a lot of vegetables, and you're like, how are you gonna get all that plus the zucchini in there? But they will cook down, I promise you.
What heat are you rocking in there?
Rocking like a medium high.
Did you never say rocking?
Yeah, I can't believe I responded. And now I'm gonna slice the zucchini. Hello?
Ring, ring, ring.
Hello?
Don't ever do this joke again. Bye.
Gonna slice the zucchini. I don't like the top. As you can tell, zucchini sometimes will be a little bit thinner, a little bit fatter. They come in different shapes and sizes. I find that large zucchini is generally not as delicious as the thin stuff, and that's because it's been grown longer. There's more water in it, so there's less flavor. Like, bigger is not better for zucchini. That said, I'm gonna cut it into coins here. And you don't have to worry about getting them too thin. Like, you don't need to bust out a mandolin. Why do they do that? It's so annoying.
Roll up.
Yeah. It's like... This is gonna cook down and become really nice and tender, but also gonna keep a lot of texture. If you are the kind of person who prefers to have this in like a chunky cube of zucchini, go ahead and dice it. That's fine as well. It's a personal preference. This one's a little big, so I am gonna actually cut it in half this way and then slice it more into like a half moon and like kind of irregular shapes just to give it some more texture visually.
Those guys aren't going anywhere.
No, you'd never leave me. Those walnuts smell very good. Now that these are getting brown around the edges, I'm gonna actually add a pinch of chili flake. If you don't want a spicy pasta salad, you can definitely leave the chili out. You could even use like a sliced jalapeno, maybe a little habanero, serrano. That can go in now with the scallion as well. I'm gonna add most of this. I'm adding half and half because I need to give this chance to wilt down. Zucchini is made of a lot of water. As it cooks down, it's going to shrink and it's gonna allow us to add more zucchini to the skillet. That's gonna keep cooking down. My water is almost boiling. I'm gonna thinly slice the rest of these, whatever. I'm gonna thinly slice the rest of these scallions. It might feel like a lot, but scallion really mellows out with time. It's not like raw red onion or something, which is like assertive, embracing, no matter what you do to it. And now I'm gonna add the rest of the zucchini. Season that again with salt and pepper. I'm just gonna let this cook down. If you don't have a skillet this large, use a Dutch oven or whatever sort of heavy bottom pot you have.
Would batches be okay as well?
You could do it in batches. But I think part of the reason I like cooking it all at once is because not only is it getting heat from the bottom of the skillet, but when it's all stacked on top of each other like this, it's kind of steaming each other. So it's like getting a head start cooking, it's softening, it's breaking down. Zucchini also, when it cooks, goes from like an opaque white to a more translucent, sort of like yellowy color. And that's what we're looking to see. So we'll let that cook down. I'm gonna slice the rest of these scallions. And this will be thinly sliced because we are gonna be eating them raw.
What are you up to lately?
I started taking boxing.
How is it?
It's cool, it's really hard. I had my first lesson with the trainer last Monday. On Friday, I was like really out of it and just like my body had been put through so much that I was just like, this is still so hard for me. And I asked my trainer, I was like, but I'm better than I was Monday, right? And he's like, yes, but it will get harder. It doesn't get easier. I conflated getting better with things being easier. And he sort of made me realize that oftentimes getting better at something means that everything else becomes harder, which I thought was like a really beautiful life lesson.
That pan is really big.
It's really big and really full. And you'll see at the end of this how like things will have cooked down quite a bit. I also have more, like, you know, a half pound more zucchini in here than I realistically should have, but I'm not gonna let that stop me. Also realistically more scallions. These scallions were very large. It's also an absolute joy to have like a little floofy pile of scallions in a tiny bowl. How cute. And then I'm gonna cut this cheese. I'm just gonna make sure that the rind is off, which you can save for broth if you want. I think Parmesan broth is kind of a farce. If you had a food processor, you could put it in there and like blitz it, but I'm just going for like irregular chunks here. Any sort of pasta that has this much Parmesan in it gets my vote as like pasta of the year.
Salad of the year.
This is both pasta of the year and salad of the year. I'm a Virgo, I'm an overachiever.
The salad takes after its mom.
And you can kind of like go wild here. I like the craggly, messy bits. The reason I'm chopping it and not grating it is because I don't want the cheese to disappear into the pasta. I want to like nibble on little chunks of Parmesan. If they don't like nibbling on chunks of Parmesan, dump them.
Would you?
No, because maybe they're lactose intolerant.
Aww.
All right, our water's boiling, so I'm gonna add the pasta too. This is like, I'd say more than halfway there. We're not looking for like a cooked down zucchini jam. We're wanting just tender pieces of zucchini. Another reason I like adding the zucchini in stages is because I really enjoy how some of the pieces get really nice and like super, super tender and creamy. Some stay brighter green, they have a little bit more texture to them. Celebrate the differences. So this is a pound. I'm gonna add half of this. And this is still gonna feed like 4 to 6 people. Trust me, try and make it with 8 ounces, about half the package. And if you're still like, nope, I need more pasta, then the next go around you can make it or just boil some extra and add it to your salad. But this, I think, we're over pastaing our pasta salad. It shouldn't be so much pasta. This isn't a pasta dish, this is a salad. And as for the shape, I've done this with the noodle, I've done this with pinwheels, or what are those called? Wheels. Just regular wheels. Kind of anything goes here, but I think like a short tube or a tubey shape is best for this style pasta. I wouldn't go anything too small, like orecchiette might be too tiny even. Macaroni, too tiny. I like it when it feels like you can seek out, oh, there's like one piece of pasta that I'm gonna eat. I feel like it makes it more salady. I'm gonna add capers to this zucchini. I'm gonna kill the heat. This is exactly what we're looking for. So see how you have like some like really tender, almost brown pieces of squash down there? And then you have some, you know, thicker pieces that maybe are just like really tender. So our squash is almost there. I'm gonna drain the capers, I'm gonna add them to the skillet and let everything cook together for like another 5-ish minutes. I'm not even gonna chop these capers, they're just gonna go like straight in. And I know this looks like a lot, but pasta salad really requires bright, brilliant tanginess. So that's almost done. This is gonna go in at the end, our fresh scallion, our cheese, our toasted walnuts, and our pasta, and like, I'm pretty much done. The last thing I am gonna add is a little bit of fresh garlic. Once that finishes cooking, to me, it is the chef's kiss of this pasta salad. It's like general raw garlic flavor encouraged throughout the dish. And add some more salt. Normally you cook pasta al dente because it's taking another trip to the skillet and you don't want mushy, overcooked pasta, but this pasta is only getting cooked once. It's getting cooked once in the pot and that's it. So take it to the level of doneness. And to mix everything, you wanna find the biggest bowl that you have. I'm gonna use this bowl. I'll add like half the scallions in there now. Save some for top, for garnish. And I'll grate the garlic into there as well. I just throw the end in there. It doesn't bother me. All right, I think we're done here. So see how there's like chunks still of zucchini? There's pieces that look really jammy and soft. Need some more salt. Zucchini really can take it. All right. So you see how it's like, you know, some pieces are cooked down, but there's still some pieces that look pretty nice and whole. So to recap, in the skillet, it's just olive oil, scallions, zucchini, and capers, which this alone is like a dope little side dish. So I'm just gonna let it cool a little bit. And we're not gonna save any of the pasta water because we don't need to. If you've ever had pasta salad that feels like really gummy or tacky or sticky, it's probably the starch coming off the pasta. And by rinsing it with cold water, we're eliminating some of that starch on the outside, which typically we want for saucy pasta in the skillet, but right now we don't. So this is gonna go into here. Mix that with the fresh scallions and that garlic. And add our pasta. Toss everything. We're gonna let this sit for a sec. If I'm bringing this to somebody's home, how I'm gonna do that is I'm gonna bring this in a bowl. I'm gonna bring my walnuts separately. I'm gonna bring my parmesan in a little bag. I'm gonna put the rest of these scallions in a little bag, and I'm gonna bring a lemon. And I'm gonna say, oh, I brought a pasta salad. Do you have a serving bowl? And they'll be like, no, you didn't bring your own. You'll be like, no problem. I'll serve it in the bowl that I brought it in. I'm just gonna finish it up real quick. And then you're gonna ask to slice the lemon, and then you're gonna finish it in the bowl, and you're gonna present it, and they'll be like, wow, it looks like you just cooked this in my home. And that's like a really nice thing to do for somebody that's like having a barbecue because they're probably stressed out because they're hosting.
That's a fun dramatization.
You wanna role play it?
Yeah, you do the host.
Are you coming to my house or am I going to your house?
Yeah, you came over to my house. You're bringing this over.
David, do you have a cutting board I can cut this up real quick?
I'm sorry. I've been doing this
You know
all
what?
day.
Honestly,
I'm so
I will
stressed.
just find a knife myself. So your pasta salad's made. All we need to do is plate it. It's silly to like plate a pasta salad. We could just eat it out of this bowl. Like it's not, you know, it doesn't bother me. But The capers are giving you a good bit of tanginess here, but it needs like more acidity in the form of like a lemon or vinegar. If you're not using a lemon, then use 2 tablespoons of vinegar. If you wanted to serve this the next day, just keep it in a bowl, or even this bowl, cover it with plastic wrap or whatever, put it in the fridge, and that's it. I would sort of advise bringing it to like a room temp situation. These walnuts smell so good. And then maybe some parsley on top. Some flaky salt. And then if you wanted to add a little bit more. And that's our pasta salad. Thanks to Enclave for sponsoring this video. It's pasta, it's salad, it's a pasta salad. And honestly, I feel like it is like the pasta salad of summer. It has everything that I want that's growing in this time in excess. And, you know, I don't know, I think it's really perfect. It gets better with age, just like all of us. I'm eating it right out of the bowl because I live here. Pasta salad, historically speaking, can be like not that great, but this is great. It's phenomenal, actually. And I can't wait to eat it tomorrow when it's had a chance to sit all day. It's the kind of pasta salad that you can eat an entire, like, this serving size portion of and never get tired. There's so much going on with so few ingredients that I feel like it gives you something really to look forward to every time you put your fork in it.
Really cradling that scallions. And you had the zucchini like you were gonna make a phone call. Really busy mom.
I'm a working mother.